Hi, and welcome to the show. Subscribe at kevinmd.com/podcast. Today, we welcome Augusta Uwah. She is a hospitalist and physician executive. Today's Kevin MD article is Why Physician-Led AI Adoption is Essential for Healthcare. Augusta, welcome to the show.
Hi, my name is Augusta. I am a hospitalist, well, human first, physician second. I also have worked in the physician advisory field, and recently I have become an AI consultant, certified, CPPD accredited. I have also trained with the Harvard X Agentic AI program as well as the physical AI. I am very much into all things AI. That said, I have also developed 52 AI apps, workflows, or agents that I use on a daily basis. And I wrote this article a few months ago, basically, when I realized that, AI is here, it's not coming. And a lot of people at that time were still like, and some people still feel like it's something that, is in the future, it's not really going to affect them, but it is like in every aspect of our lives right now. And I feel like, and the way the article went was basically that physicians have a habit of kind of like ignoring things till it like literally is in your face and has
Yeah.
taken over their lives, And insurance was the first thing that happened to us. We kind of like let insurance take over the medical practice to the point that physicians are no longer allowed to own hospitals, yet insurances can both own hospitals and make the rules for payment. The second thing that came up and we kind of like were, loosey goosey about it was like business executives coming
Hmm.
in and saying, this is a gold mine. Let us help you make money. And we ended up in a situation where physicians are now majorly employees and fired at will, basically, while people in with business degrees, C-suites, not all of them are physicians and not all of them are bad, don't necessarily have the physician's or patient's best interests at heart and are calling all the shots and going home with six figures, $500,000 in packages. Okay. And EMRs also came along, and
Hmm.
physicians were like older physicians. Younger physicians these days probably don't recall the advent of EMR, but like older physicians were very much against it. Oh no, I'd rather retire. Oh no, I'm not going to do this. But now you can't find a single hospital without an EMR. You can't find a single clinic without an EMR. It came and it was here to stay. And the article was basically saying that physicians should not make the same mistake about AI. And as much as possible, get in front of it, lead, be in the room, because if you're not in the room, you're going to be on the menu. If you don't direct the flow of what the higher ups are doing with AI, if you don't help choose the vendors, if you're not involved in saying what AI should and should not be able
Hmm.
to do, you're going to get handed whatever it is you get handed. And at that point, there's really nothing you can do about it. So the article was saying that, all of those were just the, beginning. And now we are here with AI, and
Hmm.
physicians just really need to get proactive about getting in front of it, learning as much about it as they can, getting together with other physicians who are very knowledgeable about AI and ensuring that they understand what they're getting into. Learn how to use AI responsibly, because I have a lot of physicians who come to me and say, yeah, I know AI. Oh, yeah, AI, I use it all the time. And I'm like, okay, how are your security settings for ChatGPT? Is your information secure? Have you set up your security settings? Have you personalized your ChatGPT? And they have no clue what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And that is just what we call basics.
Yeah.
So how much more when we talk about like things like agentic. So ChatGPT is like generative AI.
Yeah.
And then you tell some physicians, there's ChatGPT for clinicians, which came out like after my article. So you have regular ChatGPT, there's ChatGPT for clinicians. Which one are you using? And they're like, there is ChatGPT for clinicians? Yes, there is. And that is just generative AI. Then now we are moving into an agentic AI
Hmm.
era and also physical AI era. Okay. And imagine you where the person has not even like wrapped their head around the generative AI part,
Yeah.
much more agentic AI or physical AI. So I was just trying to sound the alarm that physicians really need to like wake up and get ahead of this and get educated.
Now, you say at first when you introduce yourself, you are a physician AI consultant. Tell us the type of questions that people are coming to you with regarding the intersection of AI, healthcare, and physician. What are the most common types of questions you're consulted for?
Okay, so I'm an AI consultant, which is different from me being a physician. My AI consulting business is based in healthcare and revenue cycle management. That is a whole different ball game.
Okay.
Okay. So it's based on ensuring that rural hospitals don't close down. The Becker's report generally recently released that about 290 hospitals at risk of closing down in the next 3 years. So this, I made AI tools to kind of like help those hospitals ensure that they maximize their revenue and they don't get swept up in all the changes with policy. I have a policy agent for that and a revenue protection agent and a compliance agent and things like that. But that is separate, okay? So as a physician who is into AI, who talks about AI a lot of the questions I get are what are you even talking about?
Hmm.
For instance, I put up a Facebook post that said, I had my AI agent go through my chat GPT agents to sort through my AI agents, my specialized GPT agents, and pull them out and put them in a Notion document. I had no idea I had 53 agents in chat GPT, but the agents that fit the criteria for what I needed this other agent to work on for me was 24 agents. So it sorted them out based on what they do. And I kind of like put that out there, like, okay, this one is for sales, this one is for, revenue cycle, this is for that. And people were like, what on earth are you talking about? So the issue I have is that a lot of people have no idea what I'm even trying to say.
Yeah.
Like I was joking with one of my friends, is like, I need someone to literally translate what I'm saying to to people,
Yeah.
So I get a lot of it is they have no idea what I'm talking about. Some are like, can you show me how to do that? Even those who don't really want to adopt AI as are like, but how do you do that? Well, with AI.
Now, for those physicians who have no idea what's going on with AI, and we both know that, of course, AI is iterating and evolving probably faster than any other technological achievement
Yeah.
today, right?
Oh,
Now, what's the danger for these physicians who remain out of AI and don't learn the nuances of AI? What's the danger to them?
well, they're gonna be left behind. Like the world is, it's like they're gonna wake up one day and it's gonna be a brand new world, basically, when they actually have to adopt this AI, use these AI tools, and they're going to find that there's such a knowledge gap between what they need to, where they are and where they need to be. And they're going to be very vulnerable to tech sellers, vendors, people pushing all kinds of AI applications, because they're not even going to know how to choose, you know. So you're just going to be so vulnerable. Or they're going to like try to use AI and get into trouble using AI because you don't know how to set up the security. You don't know how to get AI to strip all the HIPAA. You don't have a BAA agreement, but you went made yourself like a website because you were tinkering with AI. You understand what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
you don't have the necessary fundamentals. So they can get into lots of issues, if they do not educate themselves.
Now, in your article, when you say that physicians need to lead AI adoption, right?
Mm.
So, what exactly would that look like today?
I would say if you're, for instance, I'll give an example of something that happened the past couple of weeks in one of the hospitals I work at. So their tech is a little behind. They don't use Epic or Cerner, which are the two top, EMRs. They use a different kind of tech. And recently, the someone, there was a release. They sent an email saying, oh, we're going to have this tournament about AI, and we want to hear your voices about what you feel AI, could do. And we may end up implementing that. And I got so excited about it because I was like, oh my God, this is the opportunity that every physician needs to jump on, because we tend to gripe a lot. If you know physicians, we
Mm-hmm.
tend to get together and complain,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I was like, now we have a situation where they're saying, bring this complaints and let's see what AI can do. And I was talking to someone who's like the assistant to CMO, who's a physician. I was like, oh my God, did you just see that release? And they were like, what are you talking about? So I went to like the lead, person in the hospital group, and I was like, did you see that? And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, so I'm like, that's what I mean. Physicians need to get on top of it. They need to lead. They need to take advantage of those opportunities. Those opportunities will not come all the time. And sometimes nurses are better at adoption than physicians. You will see a lot of nurses have already jumped on the AI bandwagon. They are about to make their lives so much better. Nurses are all about making nursing life better. They invented the DMP, the
Mm-hmm.
and PhD, all the things, So, and nurses are very good at adoption, and physicians are gonna end up like being the, I don't know, just a figurehead in the entire healthcare equation,
Mm-hmm.
because at some point you're gonna be questioning what a lot of physicians already do, question what exactly is my role here, you know? What exactly is my role here? Because you were not participating, you didn't get involved. Everybody got involved, made decisions that now affect you, and now you are like a bystander or like a visitor in your own house, or like, you're just like an onlooker.
Mm. So physicians who don't learn and get involved with AI, not only are they going to be vulnerable to vendor pitches and they're not going to be able to appropriately evaluate new AI technology, but like you said, they could eventually become figureheads. And do you think that eventually they'll be out of jobs and be replaced by not only AI, but of course physicians who are adept with AI?
That's a great question, and that's very layered. And that is a question that someone has asked. So, Utah initially made a law that AI could act as almost like a physician and in mental health. So the physicians in that state actually appealed that. All right. So there is a general, some of the richest people in the world are trying to make AI replace doctors. Some of the richest people in the world are trying to create AI that will replace physicians. But that aside, that may not happen for several reasons. People may not buy in, the law may not allow it, all that good stuff. But the physicians that are on top of the AI or get on the AI bandwagon, they're going to be like light years ahead. And they're going to be the more sought after physicians.
Mhm.
And the rest of them are just going to be like, I don't know, maybe out of jobs, because these days physicians do get fired for no good reason. So
So, for those physicians who are listening to you on this podcast and they may only use ChatGPT casually and now are inspired or maybe afraid by what you're saying, give us the first step, what they should do to learn about AI, agentic AI, and leading AI into organizations. What's the first step they need to do that?
so the first step is there's a ChatGPT 101 course, which is, I mean, I can even give it as a giveaway free, like, for them to look through and listen and basically see how to secure their own ChatGPT. Okay. But I do have courses for physicians that they can use, especially to do vendor evaluation, ensuring that they are AI knowledgeable and basically AI directed to healthcare workers. I do have courses for that. I believe there, there are other courses free, both free and paid, but there are very few directed to like physicians, healthcare workers. And if you're going for like the Harvard courses, MIT courses, those are very, very advanced. If you don't know the basics, you're just going to go for those courses and end up, you know, lost basically. You'll have this really high level information that you really don't know how to implement because you don't know the basics.
Yeah. Now, is there a way for physicians to learn outside of a course? Is there something that they could do themselves by tinkering or YouTube videos or reading
Yeah,
posts on
yeah.
LinkedIn? What are some
Yeah,
things they could do outside of a
you can,
course?
like I said, you can tinker. You can check YouTube. There are free courses, YouTube, you can get on YouTube. There are free courses. There's this lady called Alicia Little, but she gives like summits or something like that. It's not going to be physician directed. It's going to be a lot of, it's general AI. She makes it really sound simple. There are free YouTube courses. I mean, things like that. You can tinker, but tinkering will only get you so far.
We're talking to Augusta Uwah. She's a hospitalist and physician executive. Today's Kevin MD article is Why Physician-Led AI Adoption is Essential for Healthcare. Augusta, we'll end with some of your take-home messages that you want to leave with the Kevin MD audience.
Get on the AI bandwagon. Learn as much as you can. When your hospital or your employer is talking about AI, make sure you're in the room.
Augusta, thank you so much for sharing your perspective and insight, and thanks again for coming on the show.
No problem. Thank you, Kevin, for having me.